Hey, what's going on? So, we're back. We're back doing a Let's Talk Jurassic. The stream cut out for a minute, but we're back. We're figuring this out. I've never had that happen, never cut out before, but it seems like it's working okay before, as of right now. But it seems like it's working okay, so we'll keep going for a little bit here. But tonight, we're going to be talking about a few things. Let me bring my notes back up. We're going to be talking about the box office for a minute. We're going to be talking about Beyond the Gates. There was some fun new reveals today. There's unfortunately a pay gap in Jurassic. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about Bryce maybe passing the torch. We'll see. We'll see what's happening there. Of course, we had the DVD release, so we'll talk a little bit about that. And then we'll talk about the extended cut for as much as I can, because it was like I saw it last night. Who knows what I remember, but we'll see. But yeah, thank you for returning here. I did not get a chance to share it around, so if you do, that would be awesome. I'll try to do it as we're going along here. But first off, since we're back in business, I think we're back in business. I think we're back. Let's go ahead and showcase what we've been working on this week, which is, where is it? There we go. The mailbag. Hopefully y'all had a chance to watch or listen to the mailbag this week. I was just trying to think of what happened. I feel like we recorded this a while ago, but not really. It was like maybe a week and a half ago, or a week or something like that. But it was the August mailbag with Jennifer Evans, once again, talking about all of your thoughts and feelings on the entirety of the franchise. And we talked about Dodson and the potential that, like maybe the character was mishandled. We talked about we actually gave a lot of ideas on who maybe the next director or next caretaker, I guess, for the franchise should be. That was a fun one to kind of talk about, like the options that are out there. I actually had a bunch written down, so it was good. I was like ready to go. We talked about like an alternate universe, which would be pretty fun to talk about here once we get a chance. But that was pretty cool. We talked about like what would have happened if Jurassic World maybe went a little differently or ended differently, and then what would have happened if the following two movies were just different in general. So it was pretty interesting to talk about. But we talked about a lot of different things, and Jared says Dodson wasn't really handled the best in Dominion. It's interesting. It's an interesting take, I think. It's just a different take overall. The mishandling wasn't necessarily my feelings. It was, I think, somebody who called in. But yeah, and then that was it. So I think we had news in that episode as well. So there's a lot of stuff going on in there. Talked about Blue and Beta, Yaz and Sammy. So there's a lot of cool stuff in that episode. So please go check that one out. That is out there now. I am all Jurassic out tonight after watching the extended cut last night, which was good. And big shout out here to Jurassic Souls. Thank you so much for the super chat. Jurassic Souls says, I hope everyone is having fun with the extended edition. Also really excited for the Hammond Collection, Dilo and Ellie. Yeah, definitely. Same here. But we are back in business, so let's go ahead and, I've actually got a smaller window tonight, so we're gonna have to cut out of here by 10 o'clock, no earlier or no later than 10 o'clock. So we're gonna try to whip through some of these topics here tonight. I have another recording session straight after this. We're gonna be recording an episode of my other podcast, Grim Grinning Hosts. I'm hosting tonight, and we're talking all about the Halloween Horror Nights announcements that just came out. But first off, let's go ahead and talk about the box office real quick, see what we can get for an update here. Let's go over to this window. There we go. Jurassic World Dominion's latest tally, 974 million. Wait, is that right? No. Yeah. $974.6 million. Doing pretty good. It's rolling along. Actually, I want to take a look at I know domestic hasn't really been doing a ton recently. And the issue here is now that we are so close with that worldwide total to 1 billion, we're just creeping away here. We're getting there slowly. But with the digital release taking a chunk out, look at these big drops right here. 61,000. Yikes. Okay, so I mean, that's I say yikes, but we're 2 months out. 61,000 and then 86,000 on Tuesday yesterday. So that's a big drop off from previous weeks. And I don't know, it'll be interesting to see what happens in the weekend here, if we can see any kind of uptick, but I don't know that that's going to happen now, especially with the extended cut out there and the way that they've been talking about the extended cut. It feels like its time in theaters is done. Even with Colin Trevorrow saying friends don't let friends watch the theatrical cut. I'm like, really? You're gonna dive bomb on your theatrical cut right now? I mean, we're in a different age right now where all these streaming services and everything are available, and things are hitting a lot faster than they used to. So 2 months out, we get the full extended cut. We don't even have to wait extra time. We just get the extended cut right away. So that's pretty great. And I feel like I don't know if it's unheard of, but it feels like it is, just because, I feel like you always got to wait for an additional copy of the DVD to actually come out before you get an extended version of anything. Well, thank you for popping in here, Jurassic Souls. Make sure you rewatch. We'll be here. I'll make sure to edit out whatever happened in the beginning with the drop off. But yeah. What are you saying? The extended edition is real theatrical edition, Colin. Oh, okay. Not real extended cut. What? I'm not sure what that means, what the end of that means. The extended edition is what he originally wanted, but the studio didn't. So, but luckily they were good enough, kind enough to release it so fast. And that's an interesting thought, Siaka. We'll talk about that later on, maybe. Try to remind me of that when we get there, but that'll be interesting. I wonder what will happen there. But yeah, so that's the box office for now. I do want to move over quickly to Beyond the Gates. So we had a new Beyond the Gates today. I kind of forgot about it. It just popped up and was there. I knew it was coming up, but when I woke up, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Beyond the Gates Day. So we've got 2 items revealed here. We got the Hammond Collection, two Hammond Collection items. The Dilophosaurus and Dr. Ellie Sattler. Now, I mean, we knew these things were coming. We've seen them before, but especially Ellie Sattler's figure. Yikes. But we've seen those before, and we'll take a look at them in just a minute here. I want to see what else is going on coming up next month in September. We've got 2 more exclusive Hammond Collection items, 2 more in October, and then 1 Legacy in November. So we've got a bunch of Hammond Collection on the way, which is great. It's great. I feel like we're it's a weird line. I enjoy the line. I think it's pretty nice, but it's it feels like work just because we already have all these figures, and a different version or several different versions. Like, we already got the 3 3/4 inch figures, back in 2018 and subsequently after that. And then we were like, let's collect the Amber collection. And then we got all those. And now it's like, now we're going backwards to 3 3/4 inch again. And, just buying them all over again. So it's not very exciting to see the Dilophosaur and Ellie Sattler because we already have them. It's exciting that we're going to get a Leaf and Poop Hands. Exciting. So exciting. But yeah, that's what we've got this week. And I just recently opened up the what do you call it? The Hammond Collection Donald Gennaro. And it's a great figure. It's a great figure, but I was just like comparing it to previous figures, one being Ray Arnold, which also had a Comic-Con exclusive figure. And the Ray Arnold was not a Hammond Collection figure, but, lining them up side by side, there's barely a difference. You've got some extra joints on their knees and stuff, and maybe somewhere else, but I just don't really think it warrants a new set of figures, especially when we've gotten exclusives that are not Hammond Collection. It's a whole weird thing, with the exclusives of, like, Dennis Nedry and Ray Arnold, and even John Hammond. We've gotten those before, different Comic-Cons or events or whatever, and they just feel superfluous now, or just like we shouldn't really care about them because they're lesser than the Hammond Collection. But yeah, it's a whole weird thing. I probably air my grievances all the time about the Hammond Collection. The other hand, the dinosaurs are great. I really dig what I've got behind me. You can't really see it. These ones. Oh, I actually took the Rex down. I forgot. I took the Rex down because I was doing the comparison with the darker version from the Donald Gennaro set. But yeah. Yeah. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the features. Anyways, it looks like we're back. I don't know what's going on tonight. This stinks. Well, we're back. Not sure if anybody else is here after 2 drop-offs tonight. Not sure what's going on there, but we are back. Looks like there's a few of you here. Yeah, I don't know if it's actually continuing to record or anything like that, but we are back. And we are continuing to look at the Ellie Sattler figure, which is interesting. The Ellie Sattler likeness, this is just a render, but it looks fine. The likeness has never been very great on the Ellie Sattler figures. This time around, we do have dino droppings on her hands. It's kind of weird. Very strange, but this is the Hammond Collection. We got to have something unique, I guess. If it had at least come with like honestly a big pile, that's one big pile, and that she could actually like stick her hands in, then it would have made a little bit more sense. But the fact that it's just like baggy, like, cause she puts those big plastic gloves on, which it makes the arms look super like weird and baggy in there. It just looks like melted plastic, to be honest, because it's kind of visually hard to understand what's going on with the arms themselves. So it's a weird choice. I'm honestly surprised that like they made it and they're like, yeah, let's go. Let's keep going with that. I think if you had at least sold it with a massive pile of dino droppings, it maybe would have sold it a little bit better. And at least you could have the character kneeling down next to the sick trike with an arm in there or something, and then Ian Malcolm behind her just being like, you know, you could put a quote bubble above him if you wanted to. But it's an odd one. There's some knees. I never know how to move this thing around. But yeah, it's weird. It's strange. But the leaf is cool. You know, the leaf is a nice touch, you know, to have that in there because it's, you know, it's something that speaks straight to Ellie Sattler, and it's cool. You know, we saw her do that in the movie there and deleted scenes and things. It's a very cool feature to have. But yeah. Imagine a parent buying this for their kid. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's a weird one. But let's see. I wanted to take a quick look here. Let's bring up the video. I don't know if it'll work fully. Let's see. We're gonna play. It won't play like. Oh, here we go. I'll make it just bigger. All right. So we've got the video going. Oh, I can't seem to. No, I don't want it to go that far. All right. Bear with me here for a second. I'm going to try to fix it. But yeah, talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to try to bring it up over on YouTube. If I can find that. Because there's something interesting to talk about. Maybe one of you will be interested in it. But it seems like not many others have. But, all right, so let me bring this back over. All right, so we got Beyond the Gates running here. I'll scroll all the way through. Actually, I wanted to take a quick look at the figures themselves, see if there's any... Okay, so like she looks decent there. It still doesn't exactly look like this. That's the thing with even with these upgraded Hammond collection figures, like they compose their wrists, but like they don't necessarily look like the characters. And that's Ellie, and let's see what else we got. Dilophosaurus there. Both are. To me, this just looks like any other Ellie that we have. I'd have to hold up the other ones to understand the difference. But to me, it's just like, why? Like, I'm not really sure why. And there is a special announcement at the end of this that I wanted to bring up real quick. Does not look like. Oh, here we go. Subtitles. Mattel presents the first NFT Jurassic. You can get a Jurassic or a T-Rex NFT at different levels. The rare version, the premiere, or the amber version NFT. So it's just a running T-Rex. The first free NFT for all the fans. You can find them by scanning the QR code in store or go to the website for more details in the description. So I knew there would be one person that would be into him, Steve. I knew there would be one person. But it's not a thing that appeals to me whatsoever. And from the notion I've been seeing over on Twitter and elsewhere, it does not seem like there's a big draw for this kind of thing. And it's, you know, I've seen a lot of outcry about dislike and hating it. So it's not for me. I don't find it very interesting. And it seems odd. And I saw somebody point it out. I unfortunately do not remember who it was. But somebody had pointed out that Mattel released what was the figure was like the Ocean Protector or something like that. Ocean Protector Mosasaurus. I think that's what it was. Yeah, Ocean Protector Mosasaurus. And I believe it was like made with like plastic found in the ocean or something like that. But what I'm trying to get at is it's an odd thing to go from, hey, we're trying to be conscientious of the, I can't say that word. Conscientious. I can't say it. I literally cannot say that. Of the environment. You know what I'm trying to say. They're trying to be conscious of the environment, but then also doing NFTs. So it's a very strange thing because NFTs really seem to be a drag on the environment and resources and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. It's odd. It's an odd thing, and it seems too late, to be honest. Like I personally, I'm not a part of the culture at all, so I don't see anybody talking about it anymore. I saw the initial hype where not everybody, but a lot of people were talking about their portfolio. I don't know. They collect them maybe in like an app or something. I don't get it. I still don't really get it. But it just, I don't know. It seems weird, but it seems like it's a little too late, to be honest. Like I feel like they missed the hype train here. I feel like it's gone. Not a ton of people are talking about it, in at least what I see. And I see everything, let's be honest. But it just feels weird. It feels a little off center here. And it sounds like, they just went through with it anyway, despite knowing that a lot of people were not really going to be interested in it. So I don't know. And the unfortunate thing is something like this could take away time and resources from these toys that we're getting, which I would rather them spend their time not on a fake video of a T-Rex running that looks like it's just from the app where you scan the dinosaur's feet. Like it literally looks like it's from that app, where you get like the little video of a dinosaur doing their motion or their walking or whatever, and they roar, and like that's the most amount of an NFT that I care for. It looks exactly like that. So I'm like, why do we need something else? Why are you spending extra resources on something like that? I don't know. It's an odd one for me. Nikolai still doesn't see the appeal of owning NFTs. Apparently they have value, but I don't understand really, to be honest. What's up, Emily? The line needs a Black Series level fix for it. Yeah, I know, but we had it kind of. We had. You know how the Black Series. It wasn't always that great. It was like kind of, their likenesses were okay. They're like not very great. Like, I have a Jyn Erso from Rogue One, not prior to the most recent releases, which are they actually out yet? I don't know. When it actually came out in theaters or whatever, the Jyn Erso from that movie was just nothing like the character. It looked nothing like her. And then they started doing the realistic face approach on these figures, and now they look phenomenal. Like I just picked up, also speaking of Rogue One, I just picked up Saw Gerrera, and it's a phenomenal figure. It looks so good. It looks exactly like, the actor. So Mattel had done that with the Amber collection. Like we were like the beginnings of the Black Series with the much more expensive, of course, but it felt like that. It felt like it was kind of going in that direction where like, and they later they actually did drop the price of some of those figures as well. So it kind of made a bit more sense. And then, we just needed that likeness to be better. We really needed that likeness to be better. And then they just abandoned it for the Hammond collection and apparently NFTs. So unfortunately, yeah, I don't think we're ever going to get Black series level figures. It's a shame. It's a shame. But like I said, we don't have a ton of time. We only have a little bit of time left, to be honest. So, because I got to get out of here. Since we had a few delays and stuff like that, it kind of stinks. But I do want to talk about some other things real quick. So, this one here, pretty interesting. So, Bryce revealed that she made so much less than Chris during the Jurassic World sequels, but he fought for pay equity. So, from the sound of it, here's a quote here. It says, "The reports were so interesting because I was paid so much less than the reports even said. So much less," Bryce Dallas Howard said. "And when I started negotiating for Jurassic, it was 2014, and it was a different world. I was at a great disadvantage. And unfortunately, you have to sign up for 3 movies, and so your deals are set." So it sounds like, she was, reports had surfaced in 2018 that she was making $8 million to Chris Pratt's $10 million for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. But it sounds like it was maybe a bit less even. And that's a pay gap right there that is just unfortunate. And it's really a shame. And I feel like this article is doing a service of saying, like, kudos to Chris Pratt for standing up for what's right and ensuring that, because it says it a little bit here. She says, "I will say that Chris and I have discussed it, and whenever there's an opportunity to move the needle on stuff that hadn't been already negotiated, like a game or a ride, he literally told me, 'You guys don't have to do anything. I'm going to do all the negotiating, and we're going to be paid the same. You don't have to think about this, Bryce.'" So, and she loved him so much for doing that. Yeah, I find it weird just because, like, we can't really renegotiate this. You're saying we really, really can't. Like, there's no possible way to renegotiate this so that you guys are making the same. Like, if Chris was good about the negotiating, couldn't he have done it also for the movies so that gap was not in place? It's a weird article. I appreciate them pointing it out and kind of making notice of it, and also saying that, Chris was a good guy and really wanted her to have equal pay on other things, like the games and the rides. We actually see her within Jurassic World Evolution. She's been in Lego shorts and movies and things. I don't know if she actually ended up in the series, but her and Chris are also part of 3 attractions now. So there's a lot of opportunity to make money. And then she even said, I really do appreciate him for that, because I've been paid more for those kinds of things than I ever was for the movie. So she's been paid more for all of those than she was for the movie. That's interesting, and a shame, because when we talk about this movie, we talk about or these movies, I will say, we talk about how they are Claire movies, Claire, and I would, Kane here says Claire is equally important character, if not, that's what I was going to say, is Claire is not equally important. She is the main character. Whoa, I didn't mean to shrink that down. Whoa. She is the main character of these films. Maybe not Jurassic World Dominion. I don't know that she's necessarily the focus of that movie. Dominion really did a great job of becoming an ensemble piece, I think, and focused on much more than just a single character or anything like that. But the story did have a good arc for her, with Maisie and trying to be a good parent and stuff like that. So I think there was obviously a great story for Claire in there, but there's no way he should have been making more money. And back then, this was like early days. I don't even, like, I know there was a discrepancy. I think like, what year did that come out? Let's see. So, all right, Guardians of the Galaxy came out in 2014. But by that time, like, nobody knew he was going to be Chris Pratt. I mean, we knew because of Parks and Rec and some other shows that he had been a part of. He was on the OC and I think like Everwood or something like that. So like small things, even though Parks and Rec was a big deal. It wasn't Peter Quill, Owen Grady, Chris Pratt. So I don't know why he was making so much more than she was. Like, obviously, other than their genders, which is, terrible. But it's a shame. It's a shame. So hopefully this helps to shed light on things and bring it closer. And hopefully it seems like she's done well for these other things, rides and games and such like that. But yeah. Billing ain't fair usually. Ben Schwartz's name, he wasn't even on the poster? Are you serious? Another Parks and Rec alum. Yeah, and Pratt hasn't recorded lines for a JP game in like 7 years. What game did he ever record for a JP game? Because like they have like a odd, like I feel like I should do the voice for the games because he never records anything, any lines for anything. I'm even surprised he's in the rides, to be honest, because he doesn't do all these other things. Which is funny because like it reminds me of Toy Story. Obviously you have, what's his name? Tom Hanks is Woody in Toy Story. But whenever there's like a video game or a show or a short or a ride or something like that or theme park stuff, Tom's brother does the voice. It's not Tom Hanks. So anytime you hear Woody outside of the movies, it's not Tom Hanks. So it's so weird. Like, I guess this happens a lot, obviously, but Bryce is always there. And I've always looked at it as like, wow, that's awesome. That's so cool that she's out there doing these. I really appreciate that. I think that's fantastic. But now I'm looking at it with a different light of like, oh, she needed to do these things because she wasn't getting paid appropriately for the movies. So that like, it digs it in a little bit and it like hurts a little bit more. I'm like, oh crap. Like that's why, is that why she was doing all these things? So I'm glad she got paid well for them, even more than the movies. It's a shame though. It's a shame. Kane says, I agree. Brad Bryce's performance was great in Jurassic World Dominion, but her arc was too stripped down because they have to fit in so many characters. Regardless, cool to compare Jurassic World Claire to Jurassic World Dominion Claire. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, and end the pay gap. We don't need a pay gap in here. This is ridiculous. Come on. Like, it's good to see this come out in this story and everything, but like I said, like, couldn't we have fought for her to make the right amount of money for the movies? Yeah. But, all right, so let's move on because we only have a few more minutes here. Shout out to Azim the Dream Reviews for the super chat. Thank you so much. Want to see you and Aaron watch Dominion together. Oh, God. I don't know if that's going to ever happen. But you super chatted us, so it might have to. I have a few people that I need to do rewatches with and stuff like that, so we'll see about adding Aaron to the list. I have one promised already, so I need to promise one, but we'll see. I plan on doing it a few times, and I'm interested to hear what Aaron thinks about the extended cut. So, what else we have here? Few minutes. I only have like 12 more minutes left. This is a good one. This is a good one here. Let me get out of this for a second. and go over here. Oh, where did it go? Where'd it go? All right, so we're going to go over to Instagram here for a second. When you're watching it on an iPad, it is not the full screen. But let's see. Let me unmute this and bring it in. Turn the music down for a minute. All right, so we are on, speaking of Bryce, we are on her Instagram. And there was a nice video here. Let's see. Oh, playthrough.
And press for Jurassic.
Let me go back. Let's start it over. Ready?
I wonder what just happened.
I mean, we just completed our last day of press for Jurassic World. So this one,
I'm done.
she just completed her last day of press.
Yeah, for Jurassic. So the last 8 years of my life have just come full circle.
So wild.
And it's so crazy. And you take that baton and you fucking sprint like hell, babe. You're gonna kill it.
Thank you. I love you.
So, sorry for the language, Bryce. Come on, language, Bryce. But Bryce mentioned a baton. You're gonna take that baton and run and sprint. And this video was very much, and it says it down here. Let's see. Officially closed out our Jurassic World Dominion press tour alongside the glorious human being that is DeWanda Wise and our amazing leader, Colin Trevorrow. It's very hard to say goodbye to such a significant chapter, and at the same time, I can't help but be excited for what a new Jurassic or new era of Jurassic might bring. Until then, I'm grateful as can be for all the beautiful memories and friendships. So, I mean, that sounds legitimately and obviously like a tossing of a baton. So yeah, I expect that to be happening here with DeWanda taking over and potentially leading something. Kayla Watts. I found it interesting that they did this whole Malta thing, this press tour thing for the DVD. It seemed a bit extra of them to like have this whole big dinners and showcasing every inch of Malta that did the production on a thing. I half expected them to announce like a new project there, and it didn't happen. But I feel like eventually we may get there where we get a Kayla Watts movie. We get some ties to Malta again. I think it could be coming. It sounds like Bryce is passing the baton to DeWanda Wise here, and I'm just I love it. It's so good because DeWanda Wise killed it in Dominion. It was so good. So what do you think? You think we're getting that sequel sooner than we think? I think so. But thank you, Emily. Super chat. Thank you so much. Baton to continue the franchise. Oh Lord, yes. I think so. I think it's going to be happening. And there were rumors, excuse me, a while back that DeWanda Wise and Mamadou Achi, I forget how to say his last name. They were going to be the focal point of the continuation of this franchise. That was a big rumor that was out a long time ago. And I believe it. I've believed it this whole time. And I definitely think that could be a way for them to go. So that would be really, really cool if Bryce, Chris, and Maisie, Owen, Claire, and Maisie settled down, got out of the limelight, and somebody like Kayla took up the reins and did things like this with Ramsey and stuff. That would be pretty cool. I think that could be awesome. I'm digging that. But I do want to talk quickly about also the, what do you call it? The extended edition and the DVD. So let's go ahead and talk about that. So I don't remember. I don't want to get too deep into the actual extended cut itself and what was actually in it. But I do want to talk about what I thought and all that stuff. I got to answer a text here. Anyway, but yes, yeah, there's been a lot of follow-up from Colin and things like that. But sorry, I'm distracted because I'm supposed to be recording in 6 minutes. Yeah, no spoilers for the actual extended edition because I don't want to ruin any scenes. But let me just say, there was a scene towards the end of the movie where something happened, and I was just sitting there watching it. I know this part. I've seen the part before, but there was like a 1 second new addition to the movie, and I was like, "Oh, what was that?" Like, I literally that was my reaction. I was like, "Huh? Did I just see something that I thought I saw?" And then the movie continued, and I was like thinking about it, but I also was just watching the rest of the movie. And then at the end of the movie, when it was all done, I actually went back and rewound and then paused, and I was like, "Oh, I did see what I thought I saw. Oh my God." And it was amazing. So I did not partake in the leak of the extended cut, so I never saw it prior to last night. But it was great. It was really great. I love the movie already. I love the movie already. I know, Emily, you did not like it, right? And maybe a few others, but I really enjoyed it. I really thought it was great. And, I will say that, what's up, Ethan? How you doing? We're here. This is not the podcast per se, so go download the podcast on the podcast feed, but this is just a live stream. But I will say the extended edition was great, but I don't know that it necessarily warranted the insane hype that Colin and crew have been giving it. I don't know that it changed much for me. Look, I already loved the movie to begin with, so I don't know that this cut was necessarily for me to make it better for me, but I loved everything that I saw, and I thought it was great. There was a few moments, a lot of it happened in the first half or first quarter of it or whatever. So I thought all the stuff that I was seeing, I was like, "Oh, that's great. That really fleshes out that story a little bit more." And I was like, there was a few moments where I was like, "Oh, that line was odd in the movie," where I thought it was odd, but then I just moved on with my life and never cared about it anymore. But when I watched it with the extended cut, I was like, "Oh, that's why they said that thing, or that's why they did that," because there were a few lines and things in the movie, in the theaters, that were fine, like a fine line or something. But when with the added context, I was like, "Oh, that works great. That was really good. That was good." Yeah. But I thought everything was pretty good. Steve says there was one scene that was just okay. You can see why they cut it. Yeah, I think there was one as well that I thought. Yeah, I know what scene it was. It was with two characters later in the film. I was like, this feels weird and out of place. But Emily, I'm very excited to know what you think about the extended cut. Hopefully it'll help. Fingers crossed, or prayer hands, or whatever you want to do. I hope it's better for you, because I thought it was a great version. Didn't necessarily help me too much, but I was already at, as high as you could go pretty much on this movie. So, and like, again, I watched the movie and I just don't understand what people dislike about it. You all can tell me time and time again, but I don't understand the dislike. Like, I as I'm watching the movie, I'm laughing, I'm having a great time. The Malta sequence came up and I was on the edge of my seat. Like, I was relaxed on the couch like this, watching the movie. But then when Malta came on, I'm like up here, sitting up. I've never had better posture in my life because that sequence was so good. But yes, there was a lot of really cool parts, a lot of cool extended stuff. I will say that the beginning, the prologue part, felt odd to me. I don't necessarily think that the movie needed the prologue, because we all saw the prologue, so I don't know that we needed it in the movie. You know, it just, to me, that whole sequence felt tacked on because I had already seen it. We already knew about it. It just felt like it felt like something else within the movie. So it was a weird one. That was a weird one for me. But yeah, I think the movie would have been even better with those lines, and it would have been great with all the extra stuff. I will say it felt very long. It felt very long. This movie always zips by for me, and it did last night as well, until a certain point. I forget what point, but then I was like, ooh, now it feels like it's dragging. Feels like it's dragging a little bit. But anyway, I'm going to have to cut it off there. I got to get going. It's 10 p.m. Sorry for the rush out of here and the shortened conversation, but got to get out of here. Got to go record some Grim Grinning Hosts. We're going to be talking about Halloween Horror Nights and all the latest announcements, so make sure to catch that on the Grim Grinning Hosts feed. We also did an episode about Stranger Things. You can find that maybe sometime soon. And I want to thank everybody who did the super chat tonight. Thank you so much. And of course, please go back and listen to the Jurassic mailbag, which is out this week. No episode next week, and also no live stream next week. I will be taking a week off from the live stream. Going to be out of town, so you'll have to watch something else. But I will not be in the office next week, so no live stream and no episode. So it's a full week off, everybody. But the mailbag is this week, so please enjoy. It's like 2 hours long or something like that, so go enjoy that. And then we will be back shortly. We will be back soon, so stay tuned and make sure to go follow us all over the place for all the information and updates. JurassicParkPodcast.com. Head to our Twitter at Jurassic Park Pod. We'll keep you informed over there as to when we're coming back with all the good stuff. At Jurassic Park Pod over on Instagram. Who cares about Facebook? And we're over on TikTok as well. So good night, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.